Hello. There's no one here yet. But for replay purposes, if you enjoyed this little show, please like and subscribe so we can do more of these. I've been waiting all day. I'm so glad you posted on that. Oh. So you're gonna do a press card? Yes, she was. Hey, Becky B. Happy Saturday. Y'all can't see my shirt. It's got little kisses on it. Look. Oh, not the sweetest. Hey, Miss Christy. I've been looking forward to this too. And you know what? I sat around, hey, Rachel, and I watched. I think like a lot of us, I've read about, I don't know how many books on Marilyn Monroe. I do not know, honestly, probably 5 to 10. Thank you, Becky. You know what? I love it. It's taken a while to get used to because it's so quiet. Till my phone notifications goes off to tell me that I'm live. I just started to watch. I got a channel now I was watching that was called Marilyn Monroe History. And it had a lot of documentaries on that. Heels in the air. Oh, thank you. I just listen. Hey, Plain Jane, I put this crap up last night wet when I went to be on Savages, and I just took it out to ponytail. So that's why we have the curl. It's been up all day. Hello, Warrior Grandma. I'm so glad y'all are here because this is one of my favorite subjects. I've taken so many notes, but then I'll start to take notes and I go, hell, people know about that. If people know about that. But I don't, sometimes people don't know. Vivacious Val. You waiting for the fireworks? Oh. I've just been down in the lab down here today. My husband, thank you, Becky. My husband has been washing clothes. I say, go have at it, bitch. Sin, I love you. Yeah, he's been, my husband for some reason is doing, I know it's because we're going on. I might have to turn this on. Let me see what it's telling me first. We had storms roll through here, and I was like, not today, Satan. Oh, not today. You're knocking my power out. And it did. We have a lot of, it's Saturday night, so a lot of people are going live. Annie, hello. How are you? Welcome. Oh, I apologize for anything you saw that I did in Randy's chat. I promise you I was not myself that day. I was myself that day. So I'm getting excited about this. Anybody want to come up? I can, if I have to, hold on. I know you are, Tally. I know you are. Let's see. Oh, paste. If anybody wants to come up and join me. Thank you for subbing. Thank you. Because we're going to guest list. I mean, I'm going to let a couple of people get here, but I mean, I'm happy with 20 people as long as we're all enjoying the conversation and the subject matter, which, I guess I'm supposed to really enjoy the subject matter, but I don't care if Satan himself. Oh, thank you. All right. That's not going to, we're going to stop that. Stop that. Stop it. Yes, if anybody please wants to come. This is so hard to do all by myself. And see, I thought I would try. I said, this is what I will do. I will be like the unbiased host. Right? So, I mean, I did the poll and it was, hey, Meet Virginia. It was overwhelmingly murder. People thought it was murder. And there's a lot of reasons people think that. It's just too weird to be a suicide. It's too it's too no. And an accident, nah. She knew what she was doing. She knew what when I say I knew what she was doing, I've even tried to pinpoint exactly at what point she started with the pills, with the sleeping pills and the uppers and uppers. Hey, state of disorder. Um, and there was really, you couldn't really pinpoint a time. It's just like maybe right after DiMaggio, uh, who did a number on her. Who did a number on her? I think one of the saddest photos I've ever seen, but it's one of the more beautiful ones. Is her lawyers having a press conference outside the house for the DiMaggio murder, and she is beautiful hair, beautiful makeup, and she's crying. So, and I thought that is one of the most sad but beautiful pictures I've ever seen in my life. If it's thank you. You know who you are. Thank you. I was getting ready to say my brother. The last time I went live, my brother was texting me, showing me his fish he caught and boat and whatnot. I'm not gonna have that problem now. He's probably drunk. Anyway, a lot of people believe it was murder. Well, let's get into why. First of all, no. What I'm going to say is, okay, so isn't it weird how men love Marilyn and women love Marilyn? She was so vulnerable. She was so childlike. Oh no, Heels. Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio had flowers delivered every week to her crib, and then even provided for it for a year after his death. So yeah, no, he loved her. He's the one, when the murder took. Well, I guess I should have said murder because I'm supposed to be unbiased, but when her funeral, he made it invitation only, and he chose who came, and it was no Peter Lawford. It was none of the friends that she were new. But I was think she was so. I'm trying to think of the word. What's the good word for it? She was childlike. She was just so. Somebody help me with a word. I can't think of a word. Women wanted to be her best friend, and men wanted to, I guess, sleep with her. But I think everybody just wanted to hold her and, make things okay, because her life was just not okay. The beginning of her life was not okay. Vulnerable. Thank you, Tally. Tally, get that link and come up here. I'm gonna put it up here again. You don't have to put your cam on. It's very vulnerable, very just bless her heart. I guess I had forgotten when she and Arthur Miller went to London, and she found the notes that he had made, like little diary entries, how she was, she was flawed, and she was just as flawed as his other wives or more. And, just how basically, I think he even called her stupid, which I know she read books like crazy. She just absolutely absorbed them. She was not dumb by any means of the word. She was not dumb. So I was, like I said, I tried to figure out, pinpoint when, it started to become a problem on the set. And the prince and the showgirl, it became a problem. Her behavior, her lateness, her not being ready. Oh, come on. Oh, wait a minute. Here's Kathy Douglas. No device not connected. Kathy, I don't know how to fix that. Go back one more time and try it one more time. Out and back. She was at she was. She started her own production company. You know, and I looked around like this Dr. Greenson, that was her last psychiatrist. We all watched, I hope y'all watched that episode, that the Netflix Marilyn thing where they talked to his family and what they said. Avery, stop it. Welcome, Avery. She was so used up. People just used her, and it never stopped. It never ever stopped. Yeah, she would play stupid for men, and then she would get that. I know if y'all read a book or watched a movie or read an article, you know how she was able to she could, if she wanted to, put the scarf over her head, put the sunglasses on, and she could go amongst everybody else. Hey, range girl. But if she wanted to be Marilyn, all she had to do was start wiggling. So, I mean, how much pressure is that? I don't know. It's got to be a lot of pressure. Yeah, she was. I mean, so everybody in here says murder. Everybody in here says murder. I agree. Mr. Hondo was killed by a mob for the Kennedys. Well, that's a very popular theory, Hondo. It really is. I know that she was, the affair she had with JFK happened when he was senator, on into maybe rolled into the presidency a little bit. I don't think that was much. I think she was in love with Robert Kennedy. That's the one. And I think he was, their father told them, Joe Kennedy told his boys to have sex with as many women as they could. And when he was in Hollywood, he had Gloria Swan, Joe. I'm talking about the Joe Kennedy. He took over her career, and they had an affair for a long time. And he almost bankrupted her. He almost bankrupted her. But the dress. The dress. We all know the story too of Joe DiMaggio standing in the crowd while she was filming that, and the next day she came out of the, they had had bruises. He had beaten her, and there was bruises on her shoulders and her arms where DiMaggio had touched her that night. I mean, there was also a story, hold on, where him and Sinatra and somebody else kicked in a woman's door, and only to find out, hey, Uber, they kicked in the wrong door. Marilyn wasn't there. So he was quite violent. He was quite violent. Now, obviously in his older years, I guess he turned around. Uber, get up, please come up here and help me. Nobody's coming up. I'm going to pound. There. Is that all right. So all right. Now we got to talk about the Hoffa. Can you believe heels in the air? Can you believe that they let Kim Kardashian wear that dress? If I was her, listen, if they'd have let me, wear that dress, I'd wear it to Kroger. Yes, ma'am, I would every day. What an honor for her. But there's so many iconic. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, she had an affair with Sinatra too. They say, but I think that no, Dean Martin just cared a lot about her because when they took her off that movie, Something's Got to Give. That's when she went and sung for the president, and the studio said, "Nah, we're firing you." He said, "If she's not in it, I'm not in it." Supposedly they put her back on the roster. They put her back in. I know. I couldn't believe she ain't on Marilyn, but damn. Now I got to warn about Marilyn's caboose because I couldn't believe she wore it. I couldn't believe it, but I can't be mad. There's mine. Look, there's my lovely. I love you so much. All
I
right.
love you too. I'm so glad you're doing this story.
Well, it's time. And Tally just kept on. Can we please do? Can we do Marilyn? I'm like, yes, we'll do it. Hey, Serenity. Well, the majority of the people in the chat, the majority of the people on my poll that I put up a couple days ago believe murder. MJ, I love you. They believe she was murdered.
Well, I did a show on her a few months back over on D Live, and there's a lot of controversy with her. Of course, we all know, about the diary, the red book.
The red book, yeah, that never showed up.
Never, well, the coroners had that red book. Yeah. The coroners had that red book, and when she died, they put it in a safe. And when somebody went to get it, I forgot who it was. I think it was Bobby or somebody went to get it. It disappeared. Never found it again. But you do know. So let me go back a little bit. So the night that Marilyn Monroe passed away, she had gotten in an argument with Bobby on the phone.
On the phone, right.
And told him, listen, if you don't come and see me, and slip me the sausage.
Yeah.
I'm blowing this whole story out. Everybody's going to hear about it. So Bobby had contacted, who was the brother-in-law? Peter Lawford.
Peter Lawford, yeah.
Peter Lawford was in the car with him, with Bobby. There was somebody else in the car. There's three of them. Bobby was already in.
He was already in California, but he was up at like near San Francisco.
Yeah. And they had all decided they were going to go over and talk to Marilyn, calm her down, right? Well, in the passing, as they're headed, the cops had stopped them for speeding or something. And so that's how we knew that Bobby was in the same town.
Right.
Okay, so they get over there, supposedly calmed her down, but they had moved her. They said she was dead. Right. They found her dead, but they moved her from one room to her bedroom. She had another room in the back of her house, and they had moved her to her bedroom.
There's so many stories about that because, I know you've heard the one where they got her around 8:30 and she was comatose and they took her to the hospital. She died on the way. So they turned around and brought her back. That's one story. Yeah. There's so many of them.
So many stories. Well, and I heard that story also. And then all of my, the stories that I did hear, they found her. Then the doctors Marilyn Monroe's housekeeper happened to be Marilyn Monroe's, I think it was nurse at one time.
Yeah, she was a psychiatric nurse for Dr. Greenson, her psychiatrist.
I'm glad you remember the names because I'm terrible at that unless I have them right in front of me.
Yeah.
Anyway, she had went and already knew that Marilyn was dead. So this is what the story is saying.
Right.
So, but the thing is, if you look at those pictures, and I wish I was on my computer because I pull up these photographs. If you look at the pictures of Marilyn's bedroom, you'll see all those pill bottles,
Right.
but they're all empty.
Right.
Okay. And so on the autopsy, Marilyn Monroe's autopsy, there's not one pill in her system.
She had no water in her bathroom.
No, none.
Yeah, no water.
None in, but when they did, God, I got to remember this story straight. There was something, I believe, up her anus, some kind of drug or something up her anus. Am I right? Am I right in remembering?
Eunice Murray had said she had given her enemas before.
Yes.
So I don't know what was. I hate to say that. So I don't know what was up there when she died.
Yeah, but they found some kind of trace of some kind of drug up there.
Yeah.
And yeah. So explain to me how they say she can die of an overdose when there was nothing in her system.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pull up the report and it'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
The warrior grandma asked, "What did she OD on?" The doctor, Dr. Greenson, gave her a prescription for 60 secanols, which at the time, even then, was like, why does she need 60 secanols? Because they were asleep.
Right.
But there was no pills left in that. That had a jelly kind of cover on it. There's no way she could have swallowed them with no water. She had no water in her bathroom. It was being fixed.
Right. The glass that was supposed to be there was empty.
Yeah. Yeah. But there was no pills left on her. Here's what gets me with that picture. There were no pills left in any of those bottles, but they were all set straight. Do you know what I'm saying? They were all sitting.
Right.
Hello, Moonray.
So
that right there gets me, because if you're taking all those pills and you care enough to set it back there, let me set it up right here. You know, I mean, I'd have them everywhere. I'd have them just be tossing them. That always made me question.
Well, see, so I just pulled up a copy of her autopsy report. It's not the autopsy itself, but it's the final report. And it says, now that the final toxicology report and that of the psychiatric consultants have been received and considered, it is my conclusion that the death of Marilyn Monroe was caused by a self-administered overdose of sedative drugs, and that the mode of death is probable suicide. But then it goes to say that the final toxicology report reveals that the barbiturate, previously reported as a lethal dose, has been positively identified as a nembutal by the toxicologist. What the hell is that?
I don't know, because she was given 60 secanols the day she died or the day before she died.
Yeah, yeah.
And they didn't have generic brands back then. Okay, so it would be, and every one of those secanols were gone.
So it says that she suffered psychiatric disturbance, that she died the night of August 4th, which is another thing. Shannon, did they not say she died at one time and it was reported a different time?
I have that cute. The first doctor, the first policeman that showed up had her story. He showed up at in front of my notes. In front of my notes. He had it was something after 12. So
yeah, that was when he moved her.
That's when he got Eunice's first story. They changed quite a lot, Miss Eunice. Did you know she wrote a book about her life? I didn't either, and I can't find it. She wrote a book about her time with Marilyn, and she did it in the 70s.
No
I
shit.
can't find it. I can't. I looked on Amazon because usually Amazon's a good place for old books. Can't find it.
Have
And
you
she
looked?
changed her story then too.
You think the mob had something to do with that?
There were so many people that would not benefit from her telling the truth. You know,
Right.
there were so many people. I'm just thinking about, listen, Peter Lawford, they were his new in-laws. If she was going to do something, how do I know that he didn't? I don't know. There were so many people that, thank you, Moon, so much. There were so many people that she could have blowed sky high.
And that's what she had worn to do that night that she died.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't see a state of disorder. I don't know what it's called because I saw it on this video and they never really said the name of it. It was just about her life with Marilyn.
So I'm wondering if it's not in the public library.
I
It,
wonder.
it has to have been published, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to do some research.
I I think Monchichi absolutely. Peter Lawford was in on it. Somebody else said a little earlier in the chat that he was never the same after her death. But Peter Lawford had a lot to lose, and when he did end up divorcing, or his wife, divorced him, he took a real nosedive in lifestyle. Nobody wanted to be Peter Lawford's friend anymore because they couldn't get to the Kennedys.
Now, I heard he did a lot of the dirty work
Yeah,
between Marilyn and Bobby and JFK.
yeah. I think he was the go-between. He was like the receptionist. He was
Well, because
scheduling one for the other.
wasn't he like a confidant to
Yeah.
Marilyn?
Oh yeah, yeah. She, in fact, that's where she had met JFK at one of his parties. Hey, RAS. So that's where they even met. And then
Right.
for them to have the audacity to go, here, I'm done with her, but here, Bobby. So there was she was talking about, and this was in I think the Netflix thing, where she was at a dinner party and she was sitting next to Robert Kennedy, and I don't think they'd started an affair yet. And
Right.
instead of speaking to her, he went and got on the phone and said, hey, Dad, guess who I'm sitting next to? Marilyn Monroe. You want to talk to her? Before he even spoke, because she was, I guess, about world affairs and whatnot. She probably wasn't, because maybe back then a lot of people weren't, but she was not a dumb woman.
No, she was very intelligent.
I know that she read books. She was a voracious reader. She just read them constantly.
Yeah.
So to be treated like you are a thing, but she fell for it. She fell for it.
She was like the prostitute of the White House.
Basically, yeah. I mean, if you want, basically.
And she was thinking she'd end up with JFK, and he told her there's just no way in hell.
Right.
And
yeah.
I think she had real low self-esteem.
Well, I guess it was also too, all right, so he has his life, he has his wife, he has his kids, he has his aspirations. And he was on track to become the next, a president. And then you have her who had achieved no husband that stuck,
right.
No children. I think that one of her friends talked her into buying the house that she did, so she would at least have roots. She didn't even think she was good enough to buy a house.
God, how sad is that? How sad is it to feel that bad about yourself? And
so what most people think is that either the mob got in there and killed her, or the CIA got in there and killed her. Because if she was threatening to pull a press conference, she could have had a hell of a press conference on Monday that all showed up, all the little press people. Hello.
Yeah.
Ray says that Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. I don't know about him.
Well, her and Frank, I think they went to, she always used to go down to Lake Tahoe, I think it is, where Frank
Yeah,
had a house.
Calneva Lodge. He owned the
Yeah,
Calneva Lodge. Yeah.
yeah. And her and Frank
Right, they
would
did.
talk all the time. Now, whether or not, they did the hoochie coochie, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
But
don't know. Supposedly they did, but I don't
yeah,
know. I know that she would. Here's another thing that got her in the end, probably. She would write down I guess what they talked about, a little pillow talk, right? Because that guy who bugged her house for Jimmy Hoffa,
right.
you did a very thorough job of bugging the house. So you
Jesus.
could at times she's reading, she's trying to, not when they're there, but she's trying to hold her end of a conversation. I've been there before where you think you're not smart enough to hold you're praying to God nobody starts a conversation with you because you think you're
Right.
not smart enough to do it. Uh, so uh, I
In your opinion, I mean, everything that I'm just looking up again, which I'm going to have to pull up the paperwork to see where they said they never found anything in her stomach. This is showing me right here that they said they found acute barbiturate poisoning ingestion, but I heard it was like an injection. Anyway, in your opinion, what do you think happened to her that night?
well, Moon Ray said her grandma was Hoffa's secretary. Moon Ray,
Well,
want to take a link? You want to take a link?
Jiminy Christmas.
Tell you what, I'm just gonna lay the link right here, and then you just do whatever you want to do.
Oh
You
my
ain't
God,
gonna
that would be
came up. Oh, honey, that's my notifications. Um, what do I think happened? No, 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 no. What do I think happened?
And how much do you think they paid off the doctor and the nurse?
So the first story, well, no, that's not the first story. The 35th story that Eunice Murray, she said that Marilyn went into her room at 8 o'clock to go to bed.
She's
Okay, so she said she then went to bed at 10 o'clock. And then she says she woke up at 10. This is the official. She woke up at 12:30. She saw the door, the light under the door. She called Dr. Greensom. He came down. He busted the window out. They called her regular physician who lived down the street too. He came, pronounced her dead. By but it was all over by 12:21. That don't make no sense. Because why? Then we switch to the story of Eunice going to bed and then waking up at 3 a.m. We all know that story. Seeing the thing, she was busy doing laundry, doing sheets, washing sheets when the police got there. So I gotta think Eunice was in. Hey, Alan Krebs. I gotta think that Eunice, in some way, who's gonna? I mean, she's a nurse. She's a psychiatric nurse, but she's still a nurse.
right, right.
I mean, it was. She's the one that kept lying. So did she do it at 8 o'clock? Did she follow Marilyn in there? Did Marilyn ask her because I know stuff like that you can get very constipated.
Right.
Did she ask her to help her out? I mean, I can't imagine, and Eunice, because Eunice was there when Bobby Kennedy came that day.
Right. And I think what happened was, in my opinion, I think what happened was is Bobby and them got a hold of the nurse and said, listen, because Marilyn, the nurse said she heard her on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Bobby got a hold of her and said, listen, give her something, call a nurse. We're on our way.
Yeah, that could be it.
And when they showed up, somebody gave her an injection, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Somebody gave her an injection. They moved her. I think she was in that back room I've got a diagram too. I'll have to dig all this shit up.
That's a big house. That's a really big house. It's one level and it is meandering.
Spread out. And it was if you look at the map, it's the room clear over to the right. And you had to leave out of there, walk clear down this hallway, and then Marilyn's bedroom.
Right.
So somebody had to have moved her, picked her up and moved her. So, and then put her in her bedroom and staged everything, in my opinion.
The last months. Huh? Thank you, Rain Girl. Shannon, is that book, Marilyn, the Last Months? I don't know. Heels on the ground. I hope it's. I'm gonna write it down. The last. I just know it was her. It was her story, and then it changed. In there, she admitted she was a psychiatric nurse and not a just a maid.
Right. Yeah. Ellen, I heard something like
they're finding it. They're finding it. It's called Marilyn, the Last Months.
Let me look that up and see if I can find it.
Y'all are good because I was running her name. The Last Months. I need to read that. It'll be one I have.
Can you imagine how lonely and used she felt and all alone?
Thank you, guys. All right, I'm gonna grab it. I know I can't, and that's why I think that she did have a fit and say, nope, y'all. She had an epiphany and said, y'all are not going to do this to me anymore. This is not going to be, not doing it anymore. And because supposedly she called Peter Lawford and said, basically, you were a good guy, blah, blah, blah. Goodbye, Peter. You were a good guy. So he admits to getting a phone call. I don't know what time. I probably should have done that. I probably should have looked that up. I don't remember what time. So, but
So, and what happened to the Red Diary?
Oh, I can tell you, it's probably
I found the book for you.
Yeah, I know. So it was why I gotta get it now.
Okay, I found it. There's 3 paper books. 3 on Marilyn, The Last Months by Eunice Murphy, who killed Marilyn Monroe conspiracy. Let me get you the link and I will put it. It's on eBay.
Oh.
And I will send it to you in your Twitter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I need to read Eunice. I don't like you, Eunice. I never liked Eunice. Eunice lived a very long time as well. God, go away, people. Oh. All right. So what do you think? What do you think?
Well, I think that it was a conspiracy. Right. I don't know if it was the mob or the CIA. Okay. But I believe that JFK, Bobby, and Peter were all behind it.
Yeah.
I think it was a conspiracy to shut her up because she had threatened that night that she was going to blow the whistle on it all, and she had it all documented. She said she was going to call all these newspapers, TV stations, right, and she was going to blow it out of the water. And that's when I think JFK sent her. I'm sure Bobby told JFK what was happening.
Oh, but, for sure. Oh, for sure.
I think Bobby, because Bobby and Peter were caught in the car. Remember that? They were stopped.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. Yeah. No, and I think Peter Lawford went to calm her down too. He was her friend.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, can you imagine what Bobby Kennedy, the Kennedys period, would have lost if she had come out? I mean, they were. Hey, Olivia.
There you go, Shannon. I just sent it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Alan. Wait a minute, Alan. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Alan is such a great. He's such a great participant in chat. He always is. One of the other things forgot is JFK's death initiated the silver confiscation. Oh, did it? I mean, listen. I guess that some people think like it was an inside job on JFK. You know that.
Right.
I I think it was.
Yeah.
I think, as good as the Kennedys could have been, they were the first. Now you have to let the Kennedys. Now you think of the long line of presidents. Were the first. The Kennedy, John F. Kennedy was the first Catholic president.
Right.
People were scared of a Catholic president. So, and his social programs and whatnot were pretty groundbreaking at the time. But he had a lot of baggage. And when his father, when Joe Kennedy told them to sleep with every woman possible, he took that to heart. Yes, ma'am, he did. So
Yeah, he had a lot of mistresses.
a
Mm-hmm.
lot, a lot, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know
Well, the thing is, Kelly, I'm sure it was Bobby that had a hand in doing that, but I'm sure the direction of all of that came from John. And the reason being is because Marilyn kept that diary.
Yeah.
And everything in there that she told them both. She wrote everything down in this diary. And it would ruin the Kennedys.
It would have to come from him. It would almost have to come from him because I know Bobby was the attorney general, but a murder, Presley, thank you very much. I mean, to actually take somebody, a famous woman, it would have to come from, and you have to think, they didn't have time. They didn't have a lot of time to deal with this because that makes me think, all right, Greenson, did you give her the 60-second alls because you were told to? Because that's a lot. It's a lot. 60 is a lot. And how far the story go? How many people are really involved in this? Because I know after her death, a lot of people were on every show possible talking about it. But there had to be a really huge it had to be a lot of people involved. I always talk about remember when OJ said that they took his blood, they took his blood out of his arm. That one cop went and just twirled it all over the crime scene, and I would be like, for that to be true, it would involve so many people. The guy taking the blood, the guy driving the blood over there, the guy sprinkling the blood, the guy, hey, Tim, it's me.
So I'm going to look right now for a link. There's a guy on YouTube, and he lives down in Vegas, and he has like a museum. I can't remember. He does tours and everything. Awesome guy. Anyway, he interviewed the coroner, the guy that did her all up at the funeral home.
He did. That guy did a lot of a whole lot of star autopsies. Go ahead. It's a little Lee guy.
Okay, so what he did, this guy is talking about the book, the diary, that he personally took the diary and put it into this safe and it disappeared. He talks about her falsies. He talks about her hair. She had a hairpiece. Well, is it a hairpiece? Yeah. How he got some of that. And he talks about the people that came around. Very interesting interview. I'll have to look and see if I can find it. Send you the link to that too.
Says at the Mob Museum.
Nope, it's not the Mob Museum. Nope. This guy has a touring.
But is it? Oh no! Is it Dearly Departed Tours?
Dearly Departed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that guy.
Me too.
I love it. My bucket list is to go.
Oh, me too. I was just thinking about how to get down for today.
I gotta do it.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, let me do a little search and I'll find the very interesting interview.
Yeah, it's Moonray. It's his channel and his business is dearly departed tours. There is not a murder site, a death scene, a suicide, wherever that he cannot take you right to, and he's fascinating. He's fascinating. I love the dude. Dorothy Killigan. You know about that, Alan. See, that's a big one too. That's
Wow.
another murder. Dorothy Killigan. I can't ever say her name right. She was a
No,
reporter.
I was just going to do a show on that. You want to
Yeah.
do another on her?
Let's please.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
please.
just was pulling up the info today on her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's another one that, oh my God, who was it that hated her guts? Frank Sinatra hated her
Killian.
guts and told her had always joked about her chin. She didn't have a really predominant chin.
She wasn't a very pretty lady, but I'll tell
No.
you what, she was smart as all get out.
Well,
I'll say what I've found on her so far.
her and her husband every morning would have a little show in their house. And I'm like, that's like the first ever podcast. If you
No
think
kidding.
about it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did. They would do a little show in the mornings, and it was like a little Kilgallon. Thank you. I know it. I know it. I promise.
I believe is her. How do you pronounce
Hey,
it?
hope and love. But yeah, that's it. All right. So we have to think about. Let's see. Out of all the people involved that we think were involved in Marilyn's murder, Jimmy Hoffa, more dead. All right. I mean, he ain't living his life out in a camper somewhere. Dead. Marilyn dead. JFK dead. Robert Kennedy dead. Who else? There's gotta be somebody else. They're all dead.
They're all dead. Yeah.
And
so this guy is Alan Abbott of Abbott and Hayes discusses the embalming and funeral of Marilyn Monroe. Explicit details of the preparation of Marilyn's body. He talks about Joe DiMaggio, Pinkerton guards. He also discusses Marilyn's post-autopsy body.
oh,
This is really good. It's very informative.
I
To you.
I live for those something's got to give, movies where she's in the pool and she's doing the screen test, and she did look beautiful and she did look thin and what's 36? She's 36. That's a kid. I'm getting ready to be 54. 36 is a kid. My daughter is going to be 36. She don't know what the hell she's doing. I'm just kidding.
That's very young. And to be that young and that famous and be that lonely.
And have no basis, she had no roots. She had no foundation to put it on.
Nope.
And in a business that's very fickle, and she even said this business is fickle, and she happened to have died one of the most famous women in the world and just stayed that way.
Yeah. Gosh almighty.
What were the odds when she's going around? I also read this article where they think they found her actual father. And
really?
Yeah, and it's the guy that she always said was her dad, which is not a star. But he worked at the studio. And she always thought he was her father, and it turns out with her, I think her hair. Somebody took a piece of her hair. This was on one of those BuzzFeed things, so I can only, I'm not going to vouch for it 100%.
Wow.
But his daughter or granddaughter, they took her hair, and they were related. And I think to myself, you piece of shit. You probably knew damn well.
Because her mother cut films, right?
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense.
I just
What
I
a
think that's why
shame.
I was before. This is why people love her. She was so vulnerable. This is why men loved her. I think men wanted to love her, not have sex with her, love her, protect her. Women
Well, let's
wanted to be
do
her
this.
friend. I would love to have been the friend that she picked up and I talked her through a night. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
You didn't hear about her having any close female friends.
No, she had the neighbor lady that was also an actress who categorically says she did not kill herself. She was not
Yeah.
suicidal in the least. This was her neighbor, but she was also an actress. I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
But no, she
you
didn't have many. She didn't have many.
mhm.
No, and why I don't.
What a lonely existence, you
Yeah,
know.
she was the most beautiful woman in the world and could not.
All she
And still,
wanted was love.
I mean,
Mhm.
she's the reason I wear Chanel number 5. When they asked her, "What do you wear to bed?" She said, "Chanel number 5."
Mhm.
It's the first thing I wanted to get.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
mean,
look at poor Joe. You know, really, Joe was so in love with her.
yeah,
And,
I think they
you know,
married, though. He did not have any idea, even though they dated for 2 years. I don't
yeah,
think he realized, I don't know if he thought that once they got married, she was going to in any way slow down or curb
be a
the
great
roles that she
Kelly.
got. He
Yeah,
threw that fit during 7 Year Itch. The whole suicide thing just doesn't no, it doesn't make sense at all. She was not unhappy. She was pissed off, but she wasn't unhappy. So no, I
right.
think they got together too. It wasn't the right time. If they'd have waited, like in the later years when they were together, and he did take care of her, I don't know. It's just really sad if you think about the biggest sex symbol of all time,
Yeah.
and she couldn't
And
she couldn't
she
help
wasn't
herself.
all that tiny either. What was she, a size 12?
Yeah.
10, 12?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, back in the day, that was big
Oh,
for
she was
Charlotte. You know,
meaty.
wow, it's tiny.
She was meaty. I don't know. It's just a whole very sad thing. And then when you think everything around it, when everybody sacrificed to shut her up, and
Yeah,
ended up killing every damn one of them. Every damn one of them.
God, what I wouldn't give to know the truth about that. Oh, Lordy. And
One day I hope that we get to go. This is my idea of heaven. That I will, when I pass away, I will get to go to any era that I want, and it's still right, and it's still going right, and I can just get in there and witness it. I guess.
right,
Witness it. I want to see her walking it, drive down the street. I want to. I don't know. I want.
like going back in time.
Yeah,
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 the
and
time.
it's still
Yeah,
intact, and
yeah,
they're there, and I could just go and see what the fuck.
yeah.
Supposed to
Now,
say the F word. That's the first time I said the F word. Dang it.
have you have you ever looked into? You know, she was married
Mhm.
to that sailor kid.
Mhm.
Had he ever wrote a book or talked about her? I did never looked
No,
into it.
no. Funny enough, he's the only one that ever honored her. He's the only one that ever honored her and didn't
Never did.
tell
Talked
everybody.
about her or nothing.
Right, Miss Christie? It kind of makes me want to get my shit together so that if that is my idea, I can go back to the 30s and I can watch, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was her first marriage. She had to marry him because her foster family was moving and they couldn't take her with them across state lines.
Well, let's talk about Dorothy for a minute. If we're going to work on
Okay.
that. You know, they think that it was a conspiracy because she was going to blow open the whole JFK conspiracy theory.
Yes, she
And
was.
you know, I just got done doing a couple shows on the JFK, and I watched a 6-hour documentary on his assassination and
Uh-huh.
the Ruby and all of that goes clear
Mhm.
back. Anyway, she was about ready to blow open the whole thing on her. on that
Really
situation.
speaking.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what got, they say that she, yeah, I won't give it away how she died or anything, but conspiracy theorists think that they got rid of her because she was about ready to blow the whole story wide open on JFK's assassination.
Well, I told you, one of the Rat Pack, another member of the Rat Pack involved. Frank Sinatra hated her guts. Hated
And they
her
were
guts.
friends at one time, weren't they? From what I saw today?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was another one. Hey, Selena, this was another one that she was not stupid. That you would think, all right, she did that show, the What's Your Line
Yeah.
thing, she was on that. She don't know dumb woman. She did that radio. I guess it was radio. I can't really remember now. I can't remember if it was radio or TV, but I think it was radio. Her husband did it every morning. And then she would go out. She was not a dumb woman. No, she was quite brilliant. And
Yeah.
she did get into the middle of a lot of good stuff. And
She's
she
pretty
wasn't scared.
Yeah.
She wasn't scared,
Mm-mm.
which is sad.
Well, that should be an interesting show. I'll pull up all the info I can and we can share it all.
I'm
If
pretty
you
sure I
want.
got a book here about it. I'll have to go look for it. I'm pretty sure I got a book. It's horrible. If there's somebody or a period of time or something that I'm interested in, like this right here, The Fixers. Okay. This is about Eddie Mannix and Howard Strickland. And they worked at MGM and they fixed problems. Problems meaning actors who did what? I mean, look at this. Hold on.
I've heard of them. Yes.
Yeah. So when you read a book like this, you learn about somebody else, and then you jot that name down. I don't know about that. And then this will send you in 90 different directions.
Down into a rabbit hole.
That's when I read this. You won't believe the stuff. They fixed everything from Jean Harlow's husband Paul Burns' suicide.
Yep.
Oh, they were some horrible. And also Eddie Mannix, his wife, was the girlfriend of George Reeves, Superman, who that's a whole nother story in itself right there. George Reeves. I'm going to do that one.
Yep. Too. God dang it. We need to get together. I've got all kinds of info.
I do.
Because I love this kind of stuff. I do. I just love it to death, so to speak. Did you, Jean Harlow? Her place is haunted.
Which one?
Well, the first one that her and her husband lived in.
That's that. Yes. Because Sharon Tate. You talking about that one? Where Sharon Tate saw the.
Yes, where she walked in and same story. Where she walked in and she saw somebody. She was
saw
in the
house. Paul Byrne with a wet and dead, and that house. Oh, let me tell you about that house. He built that house, right? Paul Byrne built that house. There are four posts or whatever. I don't know what you call them. There are four faces that are in around the house in the wood. And one of them is Barbara Lamar, who he was absolutely in love with. One was can't remember who else. Douglas Fairbanks Jr. She hated that damn house. He gave it to her when they got married. Jean Harlow hated it because it was down. It's down. It's not in a level lot. It's down. And no. So yeah. And then when what was it? Jay Sebring was renting the house. That's when Sharon Tate was there and saw Paul Byrne. But Paul Byrne also had a rope around his neck, which is not how he died. But that was that's how she died. She died with a noose around her neck, even though that wasn't her cause of death. But Moonraker, George Reeves. That's one of them that I'm planning, because that story is never ending. I change my mind on that every day. I don't know what's going on there.
George Reeves was sad. So was who's the guy that played Colonel in Hogan's Heroes?
Yep.
That was a
Shit.
nasty, nasty death. Bob.
Bob Crane.
Bob Crane.
Bob Crane.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
did him a few months back too, and that was a real nasty death.
But you know, his friend killed him. You know, the guy did it. And
well, yeah, they see the blood inside of his car.
I don't know how this dude did. I mean, I was
And he
confused.
got away with it. He got away with it.
There's a really good book about Fatty Arbuckle that I used to have, and it's called Room whatever. I can't remember the room. It's the room that all that happened in. And that's another story in itself, where that was a man wrongly prosecuted because the studios realized that they didn't have to pay him $1 million. He had just signed the contract for if he had a clause in it that was a morality clause. It's a lot, girl.
That's another sad story. As a matter of fact, I've still got the video up on my channel of Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah.
And,
we can do that. Yeah, I read that book, and every time when they call Virginia Rapé a hooker, a whore, I get so angry, because if you read the book, this is the best book about it. She designed clothes. She was a fashion designer. She worked. She wasn't a prostitute. She was just. She was not. And the guy that she was engaged to, would go to her grave all the time and leave flowers. And I think he's actually, she died in her 20s. He's buried beside her. Never loved anybody else.
God almighty, that's so sad.
When I see people tell that story, I get so angry, because it's like, no.
Yeah.
Fatty Arbuckle can do anything.
It's Hollywood back then was tough.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. The women didn't have hardly any say so in nothing. They ate, they drink, they took a crap when they were told to.
Yeah.
I mean,
like Garland.
Yeah, Judy. Yeah, look what happened to her, Judy. Matter of fact, I'm doing a video on her.
Oh,
yeah,
terrible.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna also do. I've done it once before, but I'm gonna do it again. Thelma Todd. Thelma Todd. Yeah, that's gonna be another suicide, accident, or murder. If y'all don't know who Thelma Todd is, I'm gonna make sure everybody does know how we do it, because that's a very interesting story as well. That had mob connections too with Lucky Luciano.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did that?
Yeah. She built a restaurant. So the bottom of it was, and it was right on the beach. It's still there. You dined with the bar in the bottom, and then up in the top, it was kind of like a lighter fare. He wanted to take that top and put basically gambling, put up there. And she said, over my dead body. And he was like, not a problem.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So
crap.
She found in her car. She'd gone out Friday night. She was found in her car Monday. In her fur coat, leaned over, broken teeth. And yeah, there's a lot to that.
Well, that would be another good one.
That's what I'm gonna do. And I'd love to do it together. It's so fun.
Yeah, just let me know what you want to do, and I'll give me some time to look everything up so I can show all the evidence, and that kind of thing.
Let's do this. Can a mod drop? Oh yeah, can a mod please drop a link for Uber Goober?
You're like, I'm not.
I want to get on this Dorothy thing like tomorrow.
Okay. I sent you a link, and I'll finish looking up everything.
Here's the thing that's not fair to you is that I will be gone on vacation for 2 weeks.
That's cool.
the 31st, so I don't want to hold you up. I
No,
know you're like me. When you get it all in, it's like, all right, let's do it. I don't want to sit on it.
just let me know you want to do Dorothy, and then you want to do who? Who else did you say you want to do? You want to do Thelma Todd?
Thelma Todd.
Okay, so when you're on vacation, I'll just look up all the information. That'll keep me busy.
Okay. All right, we can do it. Thank
Yeah,
you,
I'll
John.
get all the paperwork,
Not
the
yet.
autopsies, everything like that ready, and we can show them.
Yeah, I'm saying look, this is my it's my little classroom. That's what I kept calling. I said I got to go back down to class and doing homework. When I was doing stuff with the last stuff of Marilyn today, I was, but I really just sat in here and stared at the
Oh, I'm
wall.
glad you did. I popped in. I didn't know you were going to do Maryland. I popped in and saw Maryland.
Marilyn,
Yes.
yay!
I
Well,
know, right?
I reckon everybody, we've solved the case. Once again, we've solved the case.
There we
Uh,
go.
I'm gonna be live on the 4th for my birthday.
Yay!
I hope y'all stop by. Don't feel compelled to do anything, but just come by and wish me a happy birthday.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely.
I might do an interpretive dance. I don't know. Depends on what time you get here. It's
Well,
flexing and you know you've missed it.
oh, God. It should be pretty
But
good. I'm excited.
I love you and I thank you so much for coming up.
Hey, no problem. And thanks,
And,
everybody. And I'll talk to y'all later. I'll talk to you later,
I
Shannon.
love you.
I love you too, babe.
All right, bye.
Oops. How the
Oh
hell did
no,
you
she dropped it. She dropped it. HRH, I just saw you. I have not seen you. I do want to thank everybody for watching this. Uh God, it's just sad. It's just sad. 7 years ago, wait a minute now. What? All right, let me see. Hold on. Alan, it's called Sacrifice. Let me write this down. About Holly Weird. Or as the a band my daughter loves calls it, Horrorwood. Sacrifice. All right, I'm gonna write that down. Because I do live for this stuff. I love old Hollywood. I love the good old Hollywood. I love the movies. I love the people. I love it all. Even love the you know. Oh, Honda, we're leaving. I'm sorry. Oh, Denise, thank you. Oh, Winter, what are you doing? Do I need to go? Why are you not under your name? Let me go and look. I'll go undo that. Let me go and do that right now. But I do appreciate y'all spending a little bit of your Saturday night with me. And listening to me and Uber talk about stuff that we like. I want to, yeah, Plain Jane, look, that Eunice, I'm going to put a video, let me see. This is a video that I'm going to get up here. This is a video that is good that I'm watching. It has all the contradictions and everything. And this basically covers any book you could read on the matter because that's a really good one. And the channel that it's on is Marilyn Monroe History. So, it's good. But anyway, thank y'all seriously for showing up. Tally, thank you for you know what. And I will see y'all on the 4th. All right. And please be safe. And if you're going to shoot off fireworks, shoot them off near people you don't like so that if something happens, anyway, I love you guys.